Are we still caring about credit scores?
Take out as many loans as you can and use that money to start a new life in a new country, and then just never fucking pay those loans back.
This is what we spent our $9,000 tax return on as people that have $30,000 in credit card debt.
Just don't pay your loans back. You don't owe anybody anything anyway.
You're aggressively paying off debt. I need you to pause that real quick. I need you to do this instead.
Credit cards, they're out of control. People are just saying, I'm not paying them. What are you going to do to me? Let's talk about it. This is insanity as the credit crisis gets worse and worse and worse. What are they going to do, these people just saying, I'm not paying? Let's get into this.
Are we still caring about credit scores? Are we still caring about credit scores? I'm trying to ascertain. What you need a credit score for anyway? To buy a house? Buy a car? I bought a house a couple years ago. I ain't finna buy down nothing. They gonna find my remains in this house. You see what I'm saying? And if this car give out, I'm gonna push my feet through the floorboard, Fred Flintstone this hoe. So I'm just trying to figure out. It's above me now. Hey, it's above me now. Because I'm also tired of being the only one paying taxes around this. Billionaires ain't paying nothing. They taxing the hell out of my little check. Listen, I got to get it back in blood somehow, some way. Somehow, some way. This got to even out. So if I got to pay taxes, these little debts, I'm liable to run up a tab and leave this. You know what I'm saying?
Take out as many loans as you can and use that money to start a new life in a new country, and then just never fucking pay those loans back. Who fucking cares? You don't live there anymore. Oh my God, you're gonna have bad credit. Oh no, you're gonna have loser creditors calling you every day. Just hit silence unknown callers. Problem gone. Capitalism is a fucking disease, dude. The fact that billionaires don't pay taxes, but you are expected to pay taxes on your like $45,000 a year is fucking criminal. The fact that groceries cost your entire paycheck while CEOs are also reporting record profits, but they're blaming all these high prices on inflation is fucking criminal. The entire United States is run by fucking criminals. They all belong in fucking jail or a psych ward. Stop letting these fucking assholes just ruin your life. They made up a system that benefits them only at your expense. Do your part to make it crumble. Because if you want to birth a new world where everybody can have a good life, then you're going to have to burn this world down first.
Said by the person on an iPhone, on a laptop, editing on a software system made by capitalists, wearing clothes made by capitalists, protected by a country, protected by capitalism. Look, you can't have it all. But moving to another country is not going to save you from your debts. Let me explain. One, the credit card creditors will follow you to another country, okay? Unless you want to be debanked, which that's another one that's coming to where, oh, the bank just runs a quick soft pull on your credit and says, do we want to bank with this person? No, debanked. You ever heard of when somebody gets debanked? It is one of the worst things that could ever happen to you as a YouTuber that has a lot of things weird go on with their bank accounts. You do not want to be debanked, okay? They can just say, we're not going to do business with you. And when you get on that list of being debanked, no other bank is going to take you as a client. Let me tell you, that means no more credit cards. That means when you go to do a wire transfer or travel abroad, which you're not going to carry sacks of cash around with you everywhere you go abroad because you'll get robbed, or you can't even get to an airport. So you'll wind up getting debanked in the future. These banks will just say, we're not going to help you out. You can't use Cash App and PayPal for everything. They could even debank you. This is not how you do this, okay? I could see in the future there being restrictions on passports. The other country doesn't have to let you in. They don't have to let you travel around. It's just not credit score. It's garnishments. It's judgments. It's liens. It's taking your check before you even see it. There's so many ways they can get you. And in the future, there's going to be a lot more stipulations to this. One, they forget politicians and banks are closely tied. And in the future, there's going to be a lot of teeth. If you haven't been watching, everything in life is attached to your credit score. Okay? If you want to get a good job, security clearance, credit score. If you want to get an apartment, credit score. Or if you can't pay cash, and if we're talking about people not paying their credit card, talking about people that can't pay cash, credit score. I could even see in the future, everything in society is going to be based upon your social credit score. This is the new way of segregating people from people, okay? In the future, politicians will figure this out because credit card companies would start screaming and they will start putting some type of parameters on debt collection. They're not going to just write all this money off because when it gets too big, it can topple the entire financial system. This stuff is wild. What are your comments down below? Let me know all your thoughts. Yes, no, is it capitalism? Is it just people not paying their debt? Is it too hard to pay your debts back? Is the system rigged? I want to hear it all. I want to hear some discourse in the comments below because it's fun. That's how we all learn from each other. That's how we all learn and create some type of better idea.
This is what we spent our $9,000 tax return on as people that have $30,000 in credit card debt. We do not put all of our money towards our debt. We make the minimum payments. We also spend and we save. Okay, so spoiler alert, we still have about $5,000 saved because we have so many things hanging in the balance. We spent about $5,000. Is that true? We spent $900 on a Big Bear trip that we just took this past weekend with both of our sons. That just included the Airbnb for 2 nights, and we ended up going bowling. I paid $20 to have somebody pick up my dirty laundry and clean it for me and drop it back off folded. We paid off our gas bill, which was $700. Husband spent $100 on shrooms. Yeah, that's right. Donated $200 to different families in Gaza through Operation Olive Grove. $250 on shoes. Yeah, my husband spent $200 on a pair of sunglasses. I spent $200 on some clothes. I spent $90 on a class pass this month, so I'm like working out a little bit. I spent $236 downloading Cerebral, which is a psychiatry app, because I felt like my antidepressant wasn't really working anymore, and I got matched with like a nice person who like is clearly brand new at this, and one of the first things she said to me was, wow, that's a really high dosage of Zoloft. I was like, okay, yeah, I know that, thanks. We did pay down some of our debt, so Dave Ramsey would be very pleased with us. I don't even know exactly where this went, but we paid $500 to one credit line, $300 to a loan, $900. What the hell? Oh, I think it's because for the loan, I put 2 payments on it. So $900 for that loan, $500 to a credit card, and $150 to another credit card. So we actually spent $2,350 on debt. And if you include the gas bill, that's $3,000 of just the tax refund. Okay, and I just calculated about $2,000 for all the things that I consider to be like extra things that we bought during that time, but I'm kind of like unable to distinguish our tax return money from our like salaries, our paychecks that came in. So I was just kind of like isolating things that were definitely extras, like a Big Bear trip or someone else doing my laundry. This is what we spent our
You know, there used to be a time when people were embarrassed to say, I owe somebody something, or I don't pay my bills. It used to strike somebody core to their conscience. I mean, their integrity. For one man to tell another man that I still owe somebody something. It was a blemish on your character to have an outstanding debt. Like for me, I cannot stand to owe anybody anything at any time. I don't like gifts. I don't like owing anybody anything because I want to make sure that my name is attached to always paying their debts. What do you think about that? Is that something that is lost from our society now? That you can't just trust that one man's handshake is worth his word, that he'll pay you back? It seems like it's gone now. It's almost like through these videos I've seen that it's a fad or a thing now to brag about not paying your debt back. After emerging from the rabbit hole of these videos and credit card companies, I've realized that most people shouldn't have a credit card. Unless you are very disciplined, very savvy, and right on top of everything, some people probably shouldn't have a credit card. I mean, she just went through all the reasons why she shouldn't pay off her debt. And the things she paid for first were like meaningless, trivial things. If you can't pay for your gas bill, but yet you're trying to book trips and buy clothes and random things that you don't need, how do you rationalize that? That I would rather pay for these things than a debt at 30%. Some of these I just can't do. Like I've watched hundreds of these videos, researching these videos, and I'm to the point where a lot of this is just personal habits, problems with personal habits. Comment down below if you're in this situation and I'm missing something. At some point, you got to say, what is more important to me? My family's financial future or a trip to Disney World? I had never even been to Disney World until I was like 25 years old. Actually, I think I was 30 years old. Jack has been to Disney World more than I've been to Disney World. And I've been around that longer than his little 3 years.
And aggressively paying off debt, I need you to pause that real quick. I need you to do this instead. Whatever extra money you've been putting towards your debt, because I need you to continue to pay the minimum payment, I need you to start saving. Whatever extra money you've been putting towards your debt, your credit cards, your personal loans, your car note, I need you to put that money into your savings account. And here's why. The debt ain't going nowhere, so you need cash on hand, okay? And if something was to happen, I would rather you be able to pull the cash from your bank account, from your high yield savings, whatever account you want to put it in, hell, under your mattress, wherever it is, I need you to be able to have access to it versus trying to aggressively get the debt paid down. You've been in debt for this long, girl. It'll be all right. It's going to work itself out. The market always works itself out. What goes up must come down. But right now, I need you to focus on saving. Saving. If you was thinking about getting a new car, I need you to hold out. If you was thinking about buying a house, I need you to hold out. If you are thinking about increasing your expenses in any type of way, I need you to not do that. Okay? Put that money up. You've been living without it this long. You can go a little piece longer. It'll be all right.
So I don't think she really said that in a complete thought. Yes, you should have an emergency fund. Okay, get that $1,000, $1,500 emergency fund. Cool. Then pay down the high debt, okay? Like, you probably shouldn't go into buying a house with massive amounts of credit card debt, which the underwriter's not gonna let you do it anyways. The lender's gonna disqualify you if you've got a massive amount of debt. But you've got to get that debt down because it's like 25 to 30%, 20%. Okay, it is way outrunning that little savings account. Let's say you were in a high yield savings account right now. I think it's like around 3.6, which is pennies compared to 30%. It's just amazing. Like I see these TikTokers, they have fancy clothes, they talk eloquently, and they're able to pander to a certain part of our society, and then they get likes and clicks, and everybody just starts saying, hey, I'm on board with you, I totally agree. Well, sometimes the best advice is not agreeing with everybody. And that, yes, you should pay down your credit card debt because the problems it can create are so ginormous. They can get a judgment against you. They can levy your bank accounts. They can just do so many things to where your life in the future is going to be terrible, especially with the I, R, and the S. When they can take your Social Security check, they can garnish your wages, they can even come auction off your house. I mean, student loans, I mean, they can do so many things to you for not paying your student loans off, and everybody thinks it's a great idea to not pay them off. It's coming. They're going to put more teeth into these laws in the future.
I got paid about 10 minutes ago and I now have $9 left in my account because I had to put it all on afterpay repayments because I have zero self-control. So let's numb the pain. This will taste shit in a cocktail, but honestly, it's amazing for shots. So yeah, let's see how much we can get down and how much it takes before I forget that I'm broke as shit. Big lug, but there's like no burn afterwards. It's pretty good. Also, baby dad's gone to get groceries, so thank God for him.
I find it interesting that, I don't know if it's just like, oh, you know, embrace the suck. People are just so nonchalant about doing things that are fiscally irresponsible. It's like, oh, you know, everybody join with me. I'm in terrible credit card debt. Look, I just did a video on Affirm and Uplift and Klarna, and this stuff is going to ruin our society. People are leveraging and putting everything on credit. But yet, it seems as a person that wears $5 t-shirts, they're always the fanciest dressed, always looking down at the way you dress, but they're wearing Gucci or Prada or they're wearing Coach and they're doing all these things and they're pointing the fingers at other people. But it seems to be like those people are the ones making these videos where they've got $5 left in their account, $10 left in their account, and they feel like they have no responsibility in ever paying it back. And it really kind of gets to me after probably the 98th video I've watched like this of people bragging about they're never paying their debt back, and it's It hurts my pride a little bit as somebody that scrimped and scraped and tried to do everything right financially, drives an old truck, doesn't go out to eat that much, takes my lunch whenever I can, even though I can afford to probably eat anywhere. And then I see this stuff, and they're the ones that were always judging me growing up. Oh, why don't you have this? Oh, why don't you get a new car? Oh, check out my new car. And then I realized, probably within the last 5 years, that these people are dead broke. The ones financing and wearing all the fancy stuff, you know where they work, you know what they do for a living, you know what kind of education they got. You know they got a mortgage or 2 car payments. It's just mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. What do you think down below?
Just don't pay your loans back. You don't owe anybody anything anyway. You see, the money that you've taken out as a loan is yours. You created it. If people understood exactly how money works, you'd understand that you don't owe anybody any money. Like, let me ask you this question. When you take out a loan from the bank, where does that money come from? You see, we're sold this idea that when you take a loan out from the bank is somehow giving you something that they already own, and therefore you have to give it them back. But the thing is, when you take out a loan, that money didn't exist until you signed that piece of paper and gave the order to the bank to create that money. You created the money. Your signature created the money. You are the backing for the loan. And when you understand that you don't owe the bank anything because it didn't exist until you created it, why do you have to pay it back? And so they then threaten you with this idea, well, if you don't pay it back, you might get a CCJ and it might go on your credit report, right? Okay. And you see, this is the problem. We're told that debt is a good thing to have, but not told what debt should be used for. Debt should be used to buy assets, because once you've got assets that create money themselves, you then don't care about your credit report, because banks will just throw money at you anyway. So don't pay your debts back. Nothing's going to happen, and then make money.
So try telling the judge that when he's throwing that judgment at you, okay? I get what he's trying to say. He's trying to say the velocity of money. He's trying to say, how is money created, ... But you got to pay your debts back. And this whole thing, this new generation of, oh, business debt's different than regular debt. And, oh, if it has assets, there's a risk line with everything, okay? And you don't just get free money when you start a business. This is this blows my mind. When you go to start an LLC, a corporation, you've got to create a line of credit. You got to create credit with that business name. You got to show cash flow. You got to show some things, okay? You don't just go out there and get these huge lines of credit, okay? You got to have a business that's established. It's got some credit history behind it. It's been around before they'll start giving you money. And these portfolio loans and commercial loans, they're strict with that money. You don't just declare bankruptcy 5 or 6 times and get lines of credit to buy assets with. And most of those notes are 5 years and then they balloon. It's a deep rabbit hole, but don't listen to all these TikTok gurus. Debt it's a razor blade. It cuts you just as much as it'll cut whatever asset you're trying to do. If you do have the asset and you have that leverage on it, there's a risk that you could go belly up. It could burn to the ground. You could not be able to refinance it in 5 years. The cash flow could change. If it's real estate or if it's just business debt, you could have an industry change all of a sudden and you're not making money and you've got all this leverage over your head. Leverage is risk. It just depends on how much and how risky. So don't believe all these guys on the internet. Don't believe all these women on the internet. What do y'all think about this? Comments down below. It is insane the amount of people can rationalize just not paying their debt back. Because when you go belly up with this, even if you go bankrupt, a lot of people are just saying, you know what, I'll just file bankrupt. That's it. Okay, for many, 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 many years. I'm talking 10, 15, 20 years. Most of these missed payments are going to stay on your credit report 7, 8, 10 years. And I will tell you this. Those credit agencies are getting to where they can look back a long ways. Okay, yeah, they might not use it against you unless they want to, but they see it. Don't act like all this Uplift and Klarna and Affirm and all that stuff ain't going to affect you. No, they see it. I just sat through a lender's meeting the other day. They see this debt now. They know when you have all this outstanding stuff. They know your history. Many of these companies are saying, we're just not going to deal with these people anymore. They're too wishy-washy with their payments. And in the future, when you go to get a high-end job, we're talking 6 figures, multiple 6 figures, or whatever that might bring you into prosperity. They see this stuff. They're not going to give you that job. I'm just telling you, you're not going to be able to work in finance. You're not going to be able to work at a bank. You're not going to be able to work in any type of C-suite. They're going to use this stuff against you. I'm telling you, I'm telling you. Pay your bills, everybody. Cut up the credit cards if you're not able to do it, or just cut them up. You don't have to have a credit card. And then once you have money, you don't need credit anymore. Okay, once you have money, you don't need credit anymore. Everybody's like, oh, the rich do this. No, they don't. They pay cash for stuff. They move on. It's not on their Richter scale that long. That's all I got to say about this, everybody. I'll see you guys on the next video. On to the next one.